What's happening, everybody? Welcome back for another day of Momentum WOD training. My name is Brandon, and today I'm going to coach and guide you through this Evolve System WOD, a functional twist on traditional strength training using a single kettlebell. We're hitting the beach for today's push, pull, swing style workout, where we'll have 2 sequences of exercises which we'll perform 3 times each. Your first sequence for today's workout will be as follows. We'll begin with the dead bug static press, 20 repetitions. Following that, we'll perform the plank pull through, 10 repetitions, and we'll finish things off with a dead stop 2-arm swing, 10 repetitions. Your second sequence of this workout will be explained after you've completed 3 rounds of the first. As always, all of the exercises in today's workout can be found in the Premium Exercise Library, which is included in your Momentum WOD Premium subscription, or with your free 7-day trial at momentumwod.com/join-now. Starting today's workout with 20 repetitions of the dead bug static press. Good luck today. For your next exercise, you'll be moving to 10 repetitions of the plank pull through. When performing this exercise, spread your feet wider than you normally would when performing a plank to be able to maintain your balance and prevent your hips from shifting side to side as the kettlebell traverses underneath your body. The last exercise of this push, pull, swing sequence will obviously be your swing movement, dead stop 2-arm swing. The difference between this exercise and a normal 2-arm swing is that the bell is going to be hiked and parked before and after each and every repetition. And that marks the end of your first of 3 rounds of this sequence. You're going to get a minute of break in between each round of this workout. So with that being said, you have a minute before we start round 2. If you're a Momentum WOD subscriber, or if you've tuned in to our workouts in the past, you've likely noticed that this style of workout is one that we like to perform often. Not necessarily these 3 exercises, but a push, pull, swing sequence of movements. What you'll find if you switch your training paradigm away from focusing on specific body parts and towards movement patterns that tie into your performance endeavors, your body will react accordingly and start to perform better. It makes sense. Your body rarely functions in a way that isolates specific body parts when training Jiu Jitsu, and accordingly your strength training should reflect this as well. The dead bug static press is an isometric strength exercise that is intended to be performed with a heavy kettlebell that ties in core endurance as well. Here at Momentum WOD, we really like the plank as a great exercise to build core endurance while keeping your back safe, but the issue with it is that it lacks functionality and application because it's static. The plank pull-through solves that issue by adding movement and resistance, which makes it a great functional core exercise. Because you're starting from scratch on each repetition with the dead stop 2-arm kettlebell swing, it becomes even more important that you know where your power for this exercise is coming from. It doesn't come from your arms or your back. It comes from driving through the heels and powerfully extending the hips to a tall, standing neutral position. It's all about the posterior chain when it comes to the 2-arm swing. That's 2 rounds down and 1 more to go for this sequence. Another minute of rest before we start up again. Make sure in between now and then, you grab some water if you need it, and then continue to recover in an active fashion. We're moving back to the dead bug static press to kick off our third and final round of this sequence. As you're extending your legs out with each repetition, if you bring your heels closer to the floor, it will force you to stabilize more with your core, making it a more difficult exercise. Try to do this with each and every repetition. Alright, we're moving back to plank pull-throughs for 10 repetitions. Coordinating your breath with exertion is an important part of making your swings as powerful as possible. As you extend your hips with each repetition, forcefully breathe out. This is your final set of this sequence and your final set before we take an extended break. Let's make it a good one. Alright, that marks the end of your first sequence of this workout. You're going to get a nice long 2-minute break before we start our second sequence. I'm going to check back in at the 1-minute mark to let you know what your second sequence entails. Okay, you've got a minute of rest remaining before we start our next round. Our next round of exercises will closely resemble the ones that you just completed for your first round. We're going to begin this round with 10 repetitions of the dead bug press on each side. From there, you're going to move on to the push-up to plank pull-through, 10 repetitions, and lastly finish off once more with dead stop 2-arm kettlebell swings. We're going to kick things off with this second sequence of exercises with a dead bug press. It may be difficult to see from this angle, but when pressing the weight, extend your opposite arm out to stabilize the body. If you want to make this exercise even more difficult, lift the other hand off of the ground so it's not providing any extra stabilization. Core's going to have to do some extra work and compensate if your hand is not stabilizing you on the ground. For your next exercise, we're going to be moving to 10 repetitions of the pull through to push up. If you find that your upper extremities are starting to fatigue and you're not able to complete all 10 repetitions, do as many repetitions as you can with the best form possible. We're moving back to 10 repetitions of the dead stop 2-arm swing for your next set. Make sure that you reset your form in between each repetition and engage the lats to stabilize your upper extremities through the upswing. That's 1 round down and 2 more to go. You're on the home stretch of this workout, so stay focused, stay committed, and finish this thing out strong. Got another minute of rest before we start up again. If you want to further challenge yourself and happen to own a second kettlebell that is close in weight to the one you're using, try pressing both at the same time or in an alternating sequence while extending the legs in the same cross crawl pattern with each repetition. You can achieve twice as much work in half the time. Let's not lose sight of the details. An important component of being able to perform the pull through to push up correctly means that you're bracing the core throughout the entirety of the exercise and breathing with each repetition. Alright, you know the drill. We're back to dead stop 2-arm swings for your next set. The fact that the dead bug press is a unilateral movement actually makes it more performance-oriented when compared to the functionality of a bilateral exercise. Asymmetric load during the pressing portion of the movement will require stabilization of the opposite side of the body to maintain positioning. While it may appear that only one side of the body is working, the reality is that both sides of the body are engaged, just in differing capacities. Alright, you should be feeling it at this point, and that's a good thing because we have hit the last set of this workout. We're performing 10 repetitions of the dead stop 2-arm swing to close this thing out. Make these last 10 reps your best reps of this workout. And that does it. Today's workout was a fun one, but it was not an easy one. Good job today.